Hey, Habib, thank you for this. Let's go through it together. So, okay, segmentation and ICP library. Um, so first of all, we have our segmentation lenses, right? We need to check this is right and correct, right? For example, I already corrected the fact that in some cases we look at companies with more than 35 employees. Actually, please have a look at the master segmentation here. This needs to be super updated and in sync with what Luis Roy is doing, right? For example, I had to make some adjustments. Why? Because in several cases, we have business owners working with family members as employee. So before this was all no, 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 no. But that's not the case. We have situations like Spartaco or like Andrea Tobias or like Don Mundi Adela that are actually working for his family members. So in this segment, if we don't want to create another segment, if we just want to stick with this line, it's fine, I think. We put something like both. How do I know that? So this one, as well as the interview insights, will help you a lot in doing the ICP creation. For example, if I just do a Control F with the word family, I can see that Adela has family business second generation. All right. Then I have let's see, Luis Miguel. We are not sure. Was funded by his mother, so maybe not sure. But let's see. Okay, Natalia Hotel La Posada, current family administration. All right. So in here, this is a mix of AI and my findings, right? So as I was listening to the interviews, I was going through, for example, the behaviors and characteristics, like the fact that Ivan is a successful serial entrepreneur, is a fast learner, adaptable, and determined, right? And this guy is very successful, right? Um, and another one, Monica, likes to delegate, is a tech enthusiast, is data oriented, he's adaptable and ready to pivot. These characteristics really help us to understand, if you like, the segment because they are both successful entrepreneurs that are growing their company, um, which is even in a different growth stage. Let me show you here what I mean. Why I cannot find this? 1 second. Stage of maturity. Right, I was even doing this manually one by one. For example, Ivan has an established business and it's in late growth. Monica is a recently established and it's in early growth. These are other segments, but they're all part of creating, a picture of an ICP. So these two sheets might be able to help you a lot. Also, have a look at what's already on the document, right? So when we talk, for example, when we talk about the pains and down below, you can also see the hidden costs. What are these KPIs? Yeah, for example, this is just a trace, something that should be helpful, but doesn't mean that it needs to be necessary like this. We decide what we want to think and say with regards to the ICP, right? I showed you, for example, a couple of days ago, my ICP included location, interests, hobbies. We don't necessarily have everything, but it would be good to have, the name of the segment, the size banding makes sense, the pain, I mean, it needs to be something clear, right? So, for example, if we say, if you have the last visualization of the pain from Luisro, you will be able to see that for founders, for many, we lack, education, lack of business and financial knowledge. So maybe we want to highlight the pain related to financial knowledge and related to a couple of other things that are very typical and linked to the segment itself. The pains of the guys that work in food are very different from the pain that these guys working in content are experiencing, right? So whether you want to show this with a color or a letter or one sentence, it's up to us to decide what makes sense. Quotes. Let's have two, three quotes translated in English, of course. Even you can take these quotes that you can also see here. Also here you have the quotes. Invertimos tiempo más no dinero. We invest time rather than money. So you can find basically a lot of the stuff that is here, we can reuse already to build the thing, the behaviors, the characteristics, if available. Cost drivers. Again, the cost drivers is something that maybe if it's too complicated, don't use it. All right. Top KPIs. Maybe the top KPI for this segment is successful amount of orders for food businesses. Amount of orders for food businesses. That is a key KPI they want to improve. Revenue is a key KPI. The drivers of cost could be something related to supply cost for supply chain for the supply chain segment. That's what I'm referring to, you know. And imagine that you see this ICP, at least 9 ICP, let's say at least one per segment. So each segment will correspond in one ICP. In reality, it's even more complex than that, right? Because in one segment, we will have different ICPs, but you know, segment fact sheet ICP. So it's still good data points. And yeah, to conclude, I hope it's clear. Sorry, it's very long, but I hope it helps to clarify. Ultimately, think that you are an investor or you are an advisor or you are a new joiner and you read this document for the first time and you're going through this, right? And you're reading this and say, okay, I get it. And then you start seeing this table that is describing you the type of person we interviewed and we segmented. I hope it helps. Let me know.